What is going on, golfers and gamers? Welcome to the channel. My name is Kyle. If you like golf and you like video games, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are well on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and I would really appreciate your help on the way there. I got a great video for you today. We're going to be doing a review of the EA PGA Tour latest game. It comes out on the 7th. I've been playing the pre-order trial or early release. Having a good time, but there's a lot to talk about. We're going to be breaking this video down into a few different categories. We're going to be getting into the graphics, some of the customization options, and then the gameplay. I'm going to end the video with an overall score, 1 out of 10, so make sure you stick around till the end. If you like the video, hit the like button. It's the best way to keep it in the algorithm. Guys, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is graphics. Now, I want to let you guys know I'm playing on PlayStation 5, and right off the rip, we're addressing the elephant in the room. If you're playing on next-gen consoles, you're limited to 30 frames per second. You can tell every step of the gameplay, from the menus, the golf swing, kind of the way the ball is moving around, that 30 FPS really just makes the game feel slow and kind of like muddy outside of the 30 FPS. When you're talking about photorealistic graphics, Frostbite and EA is really delivering here. I think the golf courses look terrific. The different cuts of the rough, the different terrains and textures in the sand and pine straws, all these things just look fantastic. I've hit some balls into some trees, and you can see the branches break and fall. The way the ball reacts in the trees are just great. And graphically, it's very impressive. But that 30 FPS really does limit it. It's hard to get past that 30 FPS. I know if you're playing on PC, you can unlock it. You can put it to 60 FPS. But I have not heard great things about the optimization up to this point. I'm sure this is things they can patch in, but I never like to hold my breath with updates and patches personally. So overall, when it comes to the graphics, I'm going to give the graphics on EA's PGA Tour a 5 out of 10. That 30 FPS really bringing that score down. If it was running at 60 frames on console, I'd give the graphics an 8 or a 9 out of 10. But currently, 5 out of 10. Let's move on. Alright, so let's talk about customization. And there's a lot to talk about here. From character customization, to golf bag and equipment customization, to some gameplay customization options. And the first thing we're going to get into is your character. Now, your character is all based on presets. There are no sliders in EA, but there are a lot of hair options. There are a lot of face options. There are a lot of skin color options. There's a good chance you're going to be able to make your character look very much like you. As we look at the golf bag, this is crazy in depth. The golf bag and the golf clubs are wildly in depth. You can customize your towel on your bag, the strap of the bag, the golf bag itself, the head covers in the golf bag, your ball marker. When it comes to your golf clubs, there are a bunch of real life shafts and grips in the game that you can purchase in the store, and you can pretty much build your real life golf set in the game. It's very, very cool. I'm kind of loving it myself. Let me know in the comments if you think it's pretty cool as well. As we look at the gameplay customizations options, there's a lot too. You can play this as arcade and as Tiger Woods 2003 as you want, or as simulation as you want. There's a lot on offer when it comes to those customizations. When it comes to your golf course customizations, however, it doesn't seem to be as much you can personally tweak, but there is a lot of depth and detail on the golf course customization. I hope to see some future iterations that let us tweak more of those golf course settings, but it didn't seem like I was able to really change the golf courses up much myself. But overall, I am very, very impressed with the amount of customization options we have in this video game. I'm able to make my character look very much like me. I'm able to have my exact real life golf bag down to the shafts and grips, and it makes me very, very happy. Let me know what you guys think, but I'm giving the customization an 8 out of 10. That brings us to gameplay. Now, we have to start this off by saying the gameplay is marred by the 30 frames per second that it's limited to on next gen consoles, and I'll remind you, I am playing on PS5, and that is what I am stuck playing at. I know a lot of you are going to be stuck playing on that too. This gameplay feels slow and sluggish. Your swing feels disconnected. This is all because of that 30 frames per second. It really does hinder so much of the game. It's hard to get away from that feeling of disconnection when I'm swinging the stick and the character hits the golf ball, or when I'm pulling pulling the stick back, and it takes him another 15 seconds, it feels like, to get to the top of the golf swing animation. It just feels so incredibly slow. The 30 frames per second make it really hard to hit the perfect timing on your tempo on your backswing, because a lot of times it feels like that frame is completely skipped in the 30 frames per second. It really is hard to talk about the gameplay without talking about how slow it feels. But moving on from that, let's talk about the golf ball physics in the gameplay. The golf ball physics are so one-to-one, real to life, it kind of blows my mind. Those of you that know, I play a lot of 2K. There's a lot of things in 2K that are fantastic, and the golf ball physics feel good a lot of times, but when it comes to the ball reacting to certain slopes and certain situations and transitions from surfaces, it really doesn't do well. If a ball in 2K rolls to the top of the hill, it's gonna stick in the fringe, even though it's at the peak of a hill. In EA, the ball physics really work well. The ball bounces around accordingly to the terrain. If you're transitioning from cuts, the ball physics really do play out the way you would see it in real life. If a bunker has a lip, the way it ramps it is just so fun to watch. It's so realistic. It's really enjoyable. I'm personally playing on the tour gameplay settings. I haven't dabbled much in any of the arcade or pro settings. I do like a more simulation gameplay myself, and I found that simulation gameplay to be very good, very in-depth. The wind stuff feels great. The elevation changes feel very one-to-one with real life. The gameplay is good, but it is so hindered by that frame rate, it's hard to give the gameplay a really good score. Just the disconnection, the choppiness, the way the animations sometimes feel is it's just off sometimes, and I completely blame that frame rate. And that's going to leave me with a gameplay score of a 5 out of 10. And that brings us to our conclusion. I'm going to give you a final score here, and I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a comparison to 2K and which one do I think is better. Now, I'm going to start with the overall score now. All right, I'm going to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. I think the customization is fantastic. I think the graphics themselves look great, but I think so much of the gameplay is hindered by that 30 frames per second. It's really hard to give this a good score. I do think it's a great golf video game. I think it's a great golf simulator. I am going to be playing a lot of it. But for all of you in the comments asking about how does this compare to 2K, I'm gonna let you know I'm probably gonna be playing a lot of both. 2K definitely has a lot of upsides, especially when it comes to, you know, online gameplay and stuff like that. But the career mode and the character customization in EA is just so in depth. I'm gonna find myself playing this a lot on my own, and probably a lot on stream too. Do I think one is better than the other? To be honest with you guys, I think they're both kind of bad games. 2K's servers kind of suck all the time, and they're always broken. And EA doesn't really seem to have much in online gameplay depth at all. So I don't think either of these games are a great golf game. I think they're both good golf games though. So again, final score 7.5. My final score for 2K23, by the way, is also a 7.5. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the review, what you think of the game, what you think it's like compared to 2K. If you ever want to chat, if you ever want to catch me on live stream, I'm always playing golf video games like 5 nights a week. And if you ever need help with your real life golf, join my Discord and submit your swing videos, and we'll help you out live on stream. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and go play some golf, baby. Peace.